All right, today we're going to dive into a real origin story, one that totally changed the game for how we think about artificial intelligence. We're talking about BabyAGI, the viral experiment that first showed the world what a truly autonomous AI could actually do.
So imagine this for a second. Instead of giving an AI a super detailed step-by-step list of instructions, what if you could just give it a goal? And from that one goal, it figures everything else out on its own. It writes its own to-do list, prioritizes it, and just starts checking things off. Sounds a little like sci-fi, right? Well, that's the exact idea BabyAGI brought to life.
Okay, so here's the absolute key difference. Think about the AI you use every day, right? Like a chatbot. It's passive. It completes a task, and then it just sits there, waiting for your next command. But an autonomous AI, totally different. It's proactive. You give it a big, high-level goal, and it starts making its own plan, its own to-do list to get there. It doesn't just wait around for you.
And that proactive approach, that's really what makes BabyAGI so important. Look, it wasn't the most polished tool, not by a long shot, but it was the spark. It was one of the very first experiments to go viral that showed this whole autonomous thing wasn't just possible, but something anyone could actually try to build.
So what is it exactly? At its heart, BabyAGI is an autonomous task management system. You feed it a high-level objective, something like research the market for electric scooters, and it just gets to work. It creates a list of tasks all by itself, decides which one to do first, does it, learns from what happened, and then creates new tasks based on what it just found out. It's this self-directing loop of work. It's pretty incredible.
To really wrap your head around this, there's a simple analogy that just perfectly nails the concept. Let's compare the old-school AI model to this new autonomous one.
Think of traditional AIs as a very, very literal employee. You have to tell it, okay, first, open the spreadsheet. Then, find column B. After that, copy the data. You get it. It needs constant hand-holding. BabyAGI, though, is like a really smart, proactive intern. You can just walk up and say, hey, can you put together a report on our top 3 competitors? And they'll go figure it all out. The research, finding the data, summarizing it, all on their own. Big difference. So how does this intern actually think? What's really going on under the hood? Let's take a look at the simple but super powerful process that drives BabyAGI. It's all based on a continuous loop.
So what's really cool is that this whole process breaks down into 4 different jobs that happen over and over again. First, you've got a task creator. It looks at the main goal and the results of old tasks to dream up a new to-do list. Then a prioritizer agent steps in and ranks that list to decide, okay, what's the most important thing to do right now? The execution agent, well, it just does the thing. It takes that top task and gets it done. And finally, and this is the magic part, the result gets stored in memory. This gives it context for the next loop. It's actually learning as it goes.
Let's make this super concrete. Say our big objective is to plan a marketing campaign. The system might start out by creating 2 tasks, research competitors and identify the target audience. It picks the first one and gets it done. Now, based on what it finds out about the competitors, it might generate a brand new, more specific task, like analyze competitor pricing. It adds that to the list, reshuffles the priorities, and just keeps going, looping over and over until a full, comprehensive plan is built out.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, but there is a really, really important catch here. BabyAGI was never meant to be some polished product you'd run your business on. You have to think of it more like a fascinating engine sitting in a lab, not a reliable car you drive to work every day. It's a tool for exploration.
And that really gets to its true purpose. BabyAGI is absolutely perfect if you just want to understand how autonomous agents tick. It's an incredible tool for researchers, for students building out prototypes, or for anyone who just wants to play around with the cutting edge of AI. It's a powerhouse for learning.
Now, on the flip side, you should absolutely stay away from it for any production or business stuff that needs to be stable and reliable. Because it can get stuck in loops or go off on weird tangents, it's just not predictable enough for critical tasks. And here's a big one. It can get really expensive to run because it can call an AI model thousands of times, and those costs can rack up fast.
The good news, though, is that the spirit of BabyAGI is alive and well. The concepts it pioneered have been refined and built into much more robust production-ready frameworks. So if you're thinking about this for a business, you'd be way better off looking at its descendants, tools like Crew AI, which are actually designed for that kind of serious work.
So what's the big takeaway from all this?
Well, BabyAGI's true value isn't as a tool you download and use every day. Its value is in the idea it represents and the whole movement it inspired. It really was a spark that lit a fire.
If you remember anything, remember these three things. First, it pioneered this whole concept of task-driven autonomous AI. Second, it was the proof of concept that showed the world an AI could actually manage its own workflow without a human looking over its shoulder. And third, its success kicked off an entire wave of development that led to the more advanced agent frameworks we have today.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? BabyAGI wasn't about being a finished product. It was about showing what was possible. It was like planting a flag in the ground and saying, hey, look, AI can work like this. And that single demonstration kickstarted a whole new direction for AI.
So let's end with this thought. BabyAGI was that brilliant, maybe a little chaotic, intern that showed us a whole new way of working. It proved the potential of AI autonomy. The real question now is, what happens next? What happens when this idea grows up? That's what the entire field is working on right now, and man, it's going to be fascinating to watch.